Classic League Podcast time!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 309 of the Classic Elite Podcast. My name is Scott. My co-host is Kevin. What is going on, Kevin? How you doing, man?
Hey, buddy. I'm recovering from a week-long sickness, so I sound like Super Dave Osborne, which apparently you don't know who that is.
No, I did not know who Super Dave Osborne. I know
wild.
who Marty Funkhouser is.
Who's that?
That's the character he plays in.
No, I know.
Okay.
I know. And no, yeah, sorry. You know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
He's also in Arrested Development, but he's not that Super Dave. What's the actual guy's name?
He's in Arrested Development?
Yeah. Do you
I've
remember
seen
when
every episode of Arrested Development more than once, except for the brand new seasons, which he's
No, it was
obviously
the
not
old
in 'cause he
season.
died.
Remember when his dad was in like prison or something and he was talking through somebody?
Yeah.
That's Super Dave. That's the same guy.
Oh, that is, the surrogate that would go to the family meetings
Yeah,
and
yeah.
had the webcam on his hat. Yeah, holy
Yeah,
shit.
and he's like, you're fired. No, you're fired. You can't talk to me that way. So yes, I sound like Super Dave.
I adore, you do have a little bit of a Marty Funkhouser weak-ass voice right now. So.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better and you
Thank
don't
you.
sound bad, so.
Yeah, no, I sound worse than I look, am, whatever.
What does that even mean? Anyways,
Before we're recording, we're talking about CDs and hidden tracks and stuff on CD players, and I wanted to mention, like I mentioned, if you put your Sony PS1 games in a CD player, you'll hear like random tracks from the game.
mhm.
There was one game that had a completely separate song that I don't think it's in the game, and I never heard anyone talk about, and that's Grand Theft Auto. There's a whole rap song about Grand Theft Auto, and it's actually surprisingly good.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't think it's in the game, and I've never heard anyone talk about it, but there's a song called Grand Theft Auto by somebody,
Huh.
and it's not bad. Yeah.
And there's Grand Theft Auto 1, right? That top-down.
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 1.
Cool.
Like at one point in the song, they go, Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, yeah, it's so good. So good.
That's cool. I had no idea. Yeah, I didn't. I thought that you'd eventually. It wasn't always just the sound effects, though. Weren't some like
Yeah, track 1
it
to
would
like
know
15
to
would
like
be-
play like actual proper music and not just sound effects, right?
Eventually, yeah. Did you have any CDs, music that came with the game?
No.
Like, I don't know if you ever heard of the Immortals, which is the Mortal Kombat music inspired by the game.
Of it, obviously, I'm aware of. them.
Yeah, and there's that
Yeah.
one song with Sub-Zero, Chinese Ninja Wario, Sub-Zero. Oh, it's so
No,
fucking
that's
good.
funny.
Oh, it's amazing. You should play that like the end or something, but it really is good.
I do know the like the vibe of what you're talking about. Having the cassette from the first Ninja Turtles movie that was only available at Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
like
like something
that kind of stuff.
stupid.
And
Like
yeah,
yeah,
and it
like
had-
Twisted Metal 3 and 4 came with twisted tracks, which was just like music, like Eve 6 and Joy Drop, and it had nothing to do with the game. It was just like I still have it, and I fell in love with most of the songs there.
That's funny. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
bought a
weird.
Taco Bell compilation because it had that song "Low" from Cracker.
I don't. How's it go? You gotta sing it.
Fuck no, you'll know.
Is it
You
that
know
low,
it.
low, that one?
No. Like, no. You would. It's a '90s rock song, dude. I'm not.
I probably know it.
I've
Yeah.
only had one.
I'm just
whiskey.
bad with names.
You would know it, yeah.
It's a bad podcast for me to start singing on.
It's bad. I'm not, and I've not had enough alcohol to start singing. So,
Oh, I have no shame, but I can't. I have no energy to sing.
I've no confidence without the whiskey, so that's why I'm not gonna
gotcha.
go for it. But yeah, as a video game podcast, Kevin, there's a new game, or there's something new from a release standpoint that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So today, the 23rd, there's a little game that came out last year around this time called Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I don't know if you've ever played any Kingdom Hearts games before.
Oh,
That
I
was
meant the
rhetorical.
Royal U. Like, I have not played any Kingdom Hearts.
That is a shame because Kingdom Hearts is a beautiful, stupid little title. and I have all the games.
Okay,
That's
that's
the
great.
only game. Well, okay, that's a lie. I had it on PS2 because I made a whole back in the day on Para Nerds. I made a whole article about how to play these games and what
Okay.
systems you need because they're all separate, right?
Yeah.
Like 1 and 2 was on PS2, but Chains of Memories was on Game Boy Advance, and Birth by Sleep was on PS. Like it was everywhere. And then on PS3 they came with the HD collections, and then in PS4 they came out with the HD collections, which has all the games in one. And I bought all of them. I have all the Kingdom Hearts games, including like those stupid Nintendo DS ones. Anyways, long story short, I'm a big fan. And when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, which was like a 10-year wait, I played it and I beat it, and I said to myself, that was good, but there was no Final Fantasy characters. There's a lot of like stuff that I'm like, what's in the box? Like
Yeah.
there was a big box in the game that they never revealed anything. And I was like, what the hell? So a year later, they finally released a DLC called Remind, which is supposed to tie all the loose ends in and have all the Final Fantasy characters that were missing,
Okay.
which is awesome because now you have Squall, Yuffie, Ares, Sid, hopefully, like all these
You
other
mean
characters. Aerith, sure. All these other characters that were missing, like, and that's great because that's what Kingdom Hearts is missing. It looks to be a huge chunk, and if you follow me on Twitter, I actually just like wrote a little joke because I saw it was like $30 for the DLC, and I was like $30. Get the fuck out of here! I'm not gonna spend $30. And it said, we noticed you're not in the Canadian store. Do you want to proceed? I was like, okay. And it was $40. I'm like, oh, that's much worse than what I thought. So yeah, the DLC is $40. I'll get it eventually. I just kind of bought a Switch and a billion games for the Switch, so I don't feel right going back to the PS4 right now. And
Sure.
I'm sure it'll go down on sale soon. But yeah, that's a huge DLC. Their DLCs.
That's a bummer though that like it was gonna. You were looking forward to the DLC, and it has that steep of a price tag on it.
And
If you felt a little unsatisfied or whatever,
well, it's a shame that even had to happen. Kingdom Hearts don't usually have DLC. The story's wrapped up in the game that you
okay.
purchased. You know what I mean? Like they
So-
usually come out with like a extended version of the game, but it doesn't add anything to the story, like extra bosses and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask if it felt to you. How do I put it? Like, do you remember when was it like Street Fighter 4 or something on the 360? They had on disc DLC.
Yes, Street
Okay.
Fighter 4, yeah.
Right. Does this have that sort of a vibe? Not that it was done or pre-planned or manipulative in a way. Just the fact that, or maybe it was manipulative, but I don't mean it to be an apples to apples comparison. More like the broad picture. But does it feel like you only intentionally maybe got 2/3 of what you were expecting? The kind of way that
I think so, because I don't know. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 was really big shoes to fill
okay,
on what it is, right? Because people have been waiting 10 years for this game, and there was a bunch of like crappy little, not crappy, there was like side spin-offs of the game
sure,
where like Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally coming out to the 3DS. That's weird. Why is it? It wasn't 3DS. It was Kingdom Hearts 3DS, Dream Drop Distance, 3Ds. Get it? Haha. And I was like, no, that's close to what I wanted, but not quite.
yeah.
Then they came out with Kingdom Hearts 2.8, whatever it's called, which has like a sample of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's its own standalone little 4-hour game. And I'm like, close again, but not quite
Sure.
there. And it's funny because if you played Kingdom Hearts, they tease that because the first like hour says Kingdom Hearts 2.9.
Oh,
And
so
then when
they're
you-
even self-aware about it. Like,
I think they became, or they just think they're clever. But once you finally go further in the story, then the Kingdom Hearts 3 logo finally appears.
okay.
So I don't know if it was a joke or what, but
So I let me ask you a question then, because there's this inevitability, if you will, with the price of video games. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the price of video games has not gone up very much over the course of our lifetime, but our dollars have all weakened significantly.
correct.
So it costs video games are way cheaper than they've ever been, even though the $60
Games have
is
always
there.
Yeah, games have always been like $60 or $70. If you see like an old Walmart catalog or whatever, I'm like, I don't remember games being that expensive. But I never paid for them because I had a mom,
Bingo.
right?
Okay,
Yeah,
so there it feels like there's some sort of an inevitability with it's got to break some way. Like Microsoft is going to the subscription model.
yeah.
There's lots of diversification with different ways to get video games to people. So I'm wondering. So my question for you then is, which bummer would you prefer this be delivered as? What if Kingdom Hearts cost, what was it, $70 new?
Yeah.
What
No,
if they just
over here it's 80.
okay, 80? So what if out of the
Yeah.
gate they were like 120,
Yeah.
or the 80 and then psych out 40 later? Like both suck. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not. But which sucks less? Which of those scenarios would you have preferred as a consumer and a fan?
If they had like a Kingdom Hearts special edition that I knew there was DLC coming, I would have probably purchased that one because I was gonna buy it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But only for Kingdom Hearts. Like I don't care about DLC after the fact. The only game that I actually did do that for was Spider-Man. It was the only time I bought the $60 DLC right off the bat.
Okay, but what if there
I
wasn't
love-
DLC? What if there was no DLC? It was
Like for the full
$120 like
game?
on the sticker. It was not like you bought the game and it was $120. So let's also assume that it's out. Let's not get into the nitty gritty of there's release and development cycles. It's not the thought experiment that I want to talk about. Like you as a consumer, what's a more palatable kick in the gut? Going and seeing on the store shelf at GameStop or Walmart or whatever, you pick it up and it says $119.99. You're like, jeez for the game.
I mean,
or $80, which still stings, and then you might be aware that there could be. Let's say you are aware of the DLC, so it's piecemeal. Like
under 100 for me has to be it. Like
Okay.
$80, $70. It's hard for me. Like I don't buy games brand new anymore. It's very rare for me to do that because I buy a lot of indie games. That's my
Sure.
preferred games, right? And they're usually like 5, 10, 20 the most. So it's
I'm with you there, man.
yeah, maybe I'm not like the right target or whatever, but I can't see myself spending $100, especially as like a dad now. I'm like, oh, that money could have worked towards anything else.
Okay, well, no, I would actually argue like you're the perfect person for me to ask this question to, because that $100 threshold is that is a real decision maker.
Yeah, it is.
Like all of a sudden that is a big deal. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well, the funny thing
I
is-
think it makes total sense to chip away at it and having and I wonder if Square or just in general the gaming industry that's not going to have Microsoft give them $20 million just to have the game on the subscription service, are they also going, you know what? I bet it's just we're trying to avoid sticker shock and we'll deal with a little bit of bad press or angst from the fan base. But boy, $120 out of the gate is just going to be
It's tough.
a monstrous hill to climb.
The funny thing is with this one, my friend who I worked with, she's a huge Kingdom Hearts fan as well. She pre-ordered this game from like 4 different places 10 years ago. So she still had the same price she paid, which is like $40 or something.
Yeah.
So
Good
she
for
got
her.
the game for the price, right? So she sold me one of the copies that she pre-ordered for like 40,
hell
50 bucks. So I paid pretty, good price for it.
Yeah.
She had the receipt and everything. It was crazy. She was like, look, I have this one from Best Buy. I have this one from Future Shop. I have this one from a store that no longer exists.
That's cool that you got the hookup there, man. You deserve it. Yeah, I do not envy the people in the marketing positions or the not the marketing, but the whoever's designing the pricing strategy behind it. Not the people.
But they
that are
were
trying to sell it.
smart because they waited a year. I can't stand when a game 6 months down the line has DLC for like $30, $40. You're like, why don't you just put this on a disc?
Sure.
Resident Evil 7 had the same thing. It's like banned footage, volume 1, banned footage, volume. I'm like, it's $30 per like chapters. Like,
it
no, I don't know. And there's difference between DLC like cosmetic, like buying a costume for like $1, which I don't mind. that's on me. Like Rocket League, for example, you can buy different cars.
Yeah.
And they're usually $1, and I'm cool with that. And Batman games, you could buy like the different suits and stuff like that. I'd rather them be free, obviously, but
But
then you
prices
have
have
like
not gone up, so they do have. I understand you do too.
yeah,
I think the vast. I'd be shocked if anybody that listened to this show didn't understand that people need to earn money to make video games.
yeah.
So people pay for them, but yeah, what a tough call to figure out that price point, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick it up when it goes on sale. I'm in no hurry
Sure.
to see how it truly ends. Also, I have a Switch. If I didn't have a Switch, I probably would have bought this right away. So
Yeah, and that is, it also is good. You'll have something saved for you, you know.
Yeah,
When you're
exactly.
really fiending, you do have more content to get to.
yeah,
For waiting all this time, so it's
and
not
that's
the
the
worst
thing.
scenario. So
I wanted to go back and play the game on hard mode because I heard the hard mode was pretty simple, and I like playing with my daughter in the room because she liked Frozen and she knows these characters now.
yeah,
So it's cool watching her watch me play. She knows Sora, she knows Goofy, she knows it's perfect, right? She
yeah,
she loves Kingdom Hearts as if she played it.
yeah, sure.
So we'll go to EB Games or GameStop or whatever, and she'll see like a Sora statue, and she's like, "Look, that's Sora." I'm like, "Right? Is that awesome?"
Yeah, or she'll see a
So
Keyblade somewhere and she'll know what the fuck it is.
yeah, she'll know exactly what it is, and yeah. So I wanted to play it again, but I wanted to wait, and then now that I know there's DLC coming, I was like, "Well, it's perfect." So I played again with the DLC the second time.
Sure.
What other games were there? I guess there was nothing really
I
for
didn't
anything
have
else
nothing
except for the
else jump out to
Switch.
me. Although what's funny is Jim Sterling, the video game writer guy.
Yeah, I know
I
Jim
subscribed to
Sterling.
his YouTube channel, and he actually, we joked multiple weeks in a row, like, oh yeah, Terminator Resistance or whatever it's called. That's on there. You're gonna talk about that?
Yeah.
He did a video about it. He's like, oh, so it's totally like not bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's like
Put it on.
you're kind of dogging on it because it does have a low Metacritic score. But I think if you go in there with the understanding of, and I think he said it was the developers that made that really unbelievably terrible Rambo game.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
So you're gonna be they're behind the eight ball from a certain perception, but I think because the expectations were so low, Jim Sterling's like, this is actually totally. It's not going to blow your mind, but it's a really decent, fun first-person shooter. Like, oh,
Well,
okay.
there you go.
So when that shows up inevitably somewhere for $1 or free in a service, I will actually give it a go.
Might as
No,
well,
I
if
didn't
you
see
like the
anything
series.
else that I really wanted to talk about. So
Well, there's 2 games coming out on the Switch. One of them is called Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath. Have you played any of the Oddworld games?
no,
None of them?
mm-mm.
Oh shit! I
I
remember.
feel like I might even have Oddworld on. Like,
Oh, it's so good.
I definitely have one of the Oddworlds, maybe the first one on 3DS.
It's a Sony property.
Maybe it's on my Vita then. It could be on
Yeah,
Vita.
it's probably on a Vita, new and tasty.
'Cause I am pretty sure. But I mean, it's coming to Switch, so they've let go of the property at some point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I gotta look.
but it's
and see
definitely not on the 3DS. I would have bought it on the 3DS. This is another one of those games I always buy because I'm stupid and buy repeat games.
Oddworld New and Tasty on the 3DS eShop.
New and Tasty's on the 3DS? New 3DS or 3DS?
Oh, wait a
3DS?
minute. Yeah, in 2015, it looks like.
What? New
Maybe that was
3DS?
Maybe that's Wii U. Hold on. Maybe that was Wii U.
I'll buy that right now, motherfucker. If that was the case.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. I definitely have Oddworld somewhere.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about
Everyone
it. I know
has
that
Oddworld
character.
somewhere. Yeah, Abe.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I was really into aliens, and my sister used to rent me a game from Blockbuster every week as a surprise.
Maybe
She's
it was
just
Wii U I have. I'm sorry.
Wii U makes sense.
I'm listening to you now. I apologize. Your
so
sister.
yeah, so she used to rent me games from Blockbuster. That's how I played a lot of these random games. She just chose whatever. She thought Abe was an alien, so she rented the game for me. So Rui and I used to play that game all the time, and we loved it. It was fantastic, and we played Abe's Exodus. So there's Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, and then they came out with Munch's Odyssey for the Xbox, and then Stranger's Wrath for the Xbox as well, which changed the whole game to a first person, and it was the first game that changed to a main character.
Okay.
I highly recommend Stranger's Wrath if you haven't played it. You don't need to play the other Oddworld games to understand this one. And even for the time, it looked amazing graphically. It was one of the best Xbox titles I've ever seen graphically. And I can only imagine it looks better now.
Probably.
And if you like Westerns, play this game. And the story and the twist that come with it, mwah. Even though I played it when I bought it again on the PS4, I was still shocked by the twists because I completely forgot about it.
Cool. Hell yeah.
This is one of those games I also bought on my phone, Stranger's Wrath. So it's the Oddworld series is a fantastic series, and they're just great characters all around. So I recommend you and Tasty. I think they're coming out with Munch's Exodus, a new Oddworld coming out soon. But in the meantime, pick up Stranger's Wrath.
Oh yeah, very cool. And then you also it looked like you said Shinobi was coming to Switch?
Shinobi's coming to Sega Ages on the Switch, which is pretty rad. I like Shinobi.
I really it's either 3 or Revenge of, one of the later ones on Genesis.
Yeah.
That is one I really like.
3 they always release on everything. I think it's on the 3DS as a remake. You know when they made the 3D classics.
Mm-hmm.
So Shinobi 3 is one of them.
Okay. So yeah, cool. Well, that's it for new releases. Kevin, let's rip through some news. Did you play a lot of PlayStation last year?
I did.
I did not. It says
I don't know.
It says my longest session was 24 hours. I definitely left Rayman Legends on way too long one day because it said I played that for 50 hours. I did beat it. I played all the way through like a new save file. That 20 hours would make sense, but
I love these stat things. Nintendo Switch did the same thing.
yeah, there's been lots of. I like it too. It's pretty fun. The
Yeah.
problem is they you know that they're wrong. They're inflated. They're calculated wrong.
Yeah, because it says I played Rocket League for 92 hours, which I believe. But I'm like, I play a lot of Binding of Isaac. That should have been number one.
Yeah.
Especially last
you
year.
left it on too much. Like it's inadvertently like maybe Binding of Isaac's the only one that's accurate, and Rocket League maybe has an extra 20 hours on
No,
action.
Binding of Isaac didn't even show up on my list.
Didn't
I was
even
like,
show
how?
up? Maybe
I'm
you
like,
played
that's
it
that.
No, Kevin, it shows that
I
you
went
did play
over?
it so much. Yeah, you broke the meter.
It's very possible. I bought that stupid game on the Switch again.
Do it, man.
And I'm like, start from scratch. You got it. Let's do this.
Yeah. I did not play it much. I definitely played Switch and Xbox and PC way more than PlayStation 4. It says, you know how I've been chipping away at Uncharted 4 through this whole year?
Yeah.
It says I only played 4 hours of it. Like,
Oh,
I
that's
feel
believable.
dude, I
You're like
feel
on
I
chapter
played-
6, right?
I feel like I played so much. I think I'm on I thought there was like maybe 18 or 20 chapters, and I think I'm on 16 or 17. But I remember you telling me there was only like 14, so I don't know.
I thought that was 14. I thought it was something a smaller number.
I am like I got 20% of the campaign left. I will get there someday. This
It hurts me that you haven't beaten it yet.
well, whatever. It
so
reminds me, I haven't gone and cashed in the PSN Drake's Fortune collection.
Oh,
I
yeah, you
gotta
get
remember
that
to do
before time runs out.
Yeah. So
So my top 3. Do you have your top 3 games for PlayStation? Does it tell you?
I didn't. I'm not. Well, okay. I'll try to sign in while you do.
Yeah, so mine, number 1 was Rocket League at 91 hours. Number 2 was Stardew Valley at 69 hours. That was mostly played on my Vita.
Nice.
And then number 3 was Hollow Knight for 56. You know what? That makes sense because I did play a lot of Hollow Knight. Was that last year? Oh, damn. I feel like I played that thing a million years ago. I just bought that again on the Switch too. Because on the Switch, I found out recently if you switch Argentina's eShop was having a sale.
Okay.
And Argentina pesos are very small, very little. They're sadly not worth that much. With a Canadian dollar, I'm like, holy shit. Like I bought like 10 games for like $20.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That
it was like
looks
Hollow
nice.
Knight, Stardew Valley, Hotline Miami collection.
Wow.
My friend Pedro, Katana Zero I paid in Canada, but I bought a bunch of games for like I sent you a link on Twitter. If you make an Argentinian account, and like I looked up an Argentina address as my billing address,
Okay.
and then they emailed me the codes. So yeah, I bought all these Switch games with for under $20.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that's what it was.
Yeah, and then people in the Reddit section were like, "Oh, taking a stance on like morale, and how you're ripping off the publisher." I'm like, "Are you though?" Because I wouldn't have bought these games regardless, and I'm not pirating the game, so I'm buying them legally through an
Yeah,
eShop
you got
store,
it. Yeah, it's like
and it's not my fault the Switch is region free. Like,
no, the publishers decide when the game goes on sale.
yeah.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
and I also
So,
bought. I don't know if you saw on Target.com in the States, Yoshi's Crafted World sold for $1 by mistake. So naturally, people bought the game and sold it on eBay. So I bought Crafted World for $20,
hey,
which is crazy because the game is $80 Canadian. $80.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I went a little bit of a tangent there. Do you have your top three?
Yeah, Rayman Legends, Rocket League, and Uncharted 4. It says
How long is Rocket League?
It's 6 hours.
Wow.
It says you clocked
Rookie.
in. It says you clocked in 93 hours of gameplay, but my longest gaming streak was 24 hours. I definitely didn't do that.
It says mine was 12 hours. I have a child. There's no way I did 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely left it on. So
What's your title at the end? Does it tell you?
oh yeah.
I'm an action hero.
I think that's what I was. That sounds right.
Yeah, probably.
Action hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says my number 2 and 3 game were 4 hours and 6 hours. I still managed to have 23 games in my thing, so I did a lot of turning on and turning off this last year.
It doesn't say how many games I played that I saw. 72 games I played. Which sounds about right.
Oh, redeem my prize. There's prizes involved, huh?
Yeah, you get like avatars and stuff.
Shit. I
And
gotta
themes
sign
went
in.
up.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
So, well, that's cool. And then another thing in the news, the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis trailer dropped.
Yes.
I watched it. I don't know anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
Very good trailer.
It is a very good trailer. So Resident Evil 3 is my favorite Resident Evil of all of them.
Yeah,
and I know that's...
So did you get excited? Or yeah, like...
I didn't think they're going to make it because Resident Evil 3 is the most general, publicly speaking, or is like people's least favorite Resident Evil. It's like how Final Fantasy 8 is my favorite, but everyone else seems to hate it.
Sure.
Resident Evil 3 was that same. Well, until 6 came out.
I was going to say 6.
At the
time...
time... Yeah, out of the trilogy, 3 was the least liked. And but that was my first. So I love Resident Evil 3 so much. It has a special place in my heart. I played with my buddies. I remember playing the game with the Aqua soundtrack, or not soundtrack, album going in the background. Because Dr. Jones and all that shit. Because I was too scared to hear the zombies, right? So I wanted something happy in the background while I played this game.
Dork.
And after Resident Evil 2, I was like, no way. You know, everyone said Resident Evil 3 is going to come. Yeah. Like, no way. Like, Resident Evil 3, they don't, like, the movie had Nemesis in it. And I'm like, that's good enough.
Sure.
The Resident Evil, right? And then Resident Evil 3, we started seeing leaks stuff about it. And I was like, all right, maybe in 2 years. This year, a year after Resident Evil 2 remake came
so
out.
it shows
That's
they're
really
working on
fast.
both games at the same time.
I guess, yeah. Or they already have the engine.
Like, no fucking way it's not the case, you know?
Well, they had the engine already, right? So
Dude,
Resident Evil 3 is not a long
totally
game.
Different. It is not a copy and paste. I guarantee
No,
you.
it's not a copy and paste.
And, okay, so at that level of detail, there's no way that is a 9-month development cycle.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Dude, then why is Cyberpunk delayed? I'm just saying, any game at that size, I'd be willing to wager a substantial amount of money that they didn't see the success of RE2, then decide to do RE3, and now it's coming out in the short order. They'd been working on RE3 well before RE2 came out.
That's crazy.
If you don't think that's true, Kevin, you're not thinking it through. I'm
just surprised that they would have done that because it's so shocking.
They were confident, man. They must have they must have said, dude, look at this tech. Look at this little internal demo we've made. And they probably were like, 2 and 3, run with it. Yes, that is amazing.
Yeah, I guess.
Sometimes
obviously that's what they did. Yeah.
You know when you're working on something cool and you just know it's
cool? Resident Evil 2 is considered one of the best horror games ever made to this day. So 2 I expected, but 3. Anyways, so I saw the trailer. I don't remember a damn thing from the game, story wise. I didn't remember Carlos. Yeah, I didn't remember Carlos at all. And And I always do the thing every year where I play Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. But by the time I finish 2, I'm usually done with Resident Evil, so I don't want to play 3 anymore. Because I always played like both Resident Evil Claire and what's his name? Help me out here. Doesn't matter.
Claire and Claire. Oh, don't.
You sound like a motorcycle.
We can do this.
Chris?
No,
not Chris. Leon.
Yes.
Leon Kennedy.
And I haven't played the game, but I've just talked about it with like you and Dustin so much.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable. It's Barry and Jill, right? Is that the other
Barry
one?
and Jill's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, Leon.
So Leon. But yeah, I always do like both stories. So by the time I'm like Resident Evil 3, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I should start with Resident Evil 3 and work backwards instead. Because I saw the trailer. It looks amazing. It looks great. I can't wait to have those Nemesis oh shit moments in the game. Because that's kind of what Mr. X was in Resident Evil 2, where he just walks around stomping. But Nemesis is fast. He'll like break through a window and go stars and then like chase you.
Okay, so we got like 28 days later, we got a Danny Boyle Mr. X coming at us.
Yeah, like a fast Mr. X. And he has like a giant Gatling gun or a flamethrower, it looks like. I remember in the Resident Evil PS1 game, because remember how like the whole game was static, the backgrounds? Like it was like one image and you were the only thing that moved. So if you move to the next screen, the camera angle would switch, right? So if he's chasing you and you go to the next screen, you're facing towards the camera all of a sudden, he's still running and you're pressing the wrong button. You're like, fuck off.
Yes. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
I can't wait to see how that's going to be in the new Resident Evil with him chasing you. It's going to be so terrifying and anxiety. Like, fuck, here he comes. Oh, it's going to be great. So yeah, it looks great. And I'm excited for it. It comes in April, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's exciting. And I'm all like gleefully like what they've been doing with Resident Evil so far is knocking them out of the park, starting with Resident Evil 7 and then Resident Evil 2 remake and then the Resident Evil 3. I'm like, yeah, give me more. And apparently Resident Evil 8 is not even close to even being in development. So you can tell where they're putting their priorities right now.
Well, I mean, if it's different enough. So, even though your perception is that Resident Evil 3 was at least liked, it still sold more than 3 million, where RE2 sold 5 million, so it definitely was a step back.
Yeah.
But still looks like it was received relatively. The consensus was still that it was good, so it was successful.
It was successful, just compared to Resident Evil 2's masterpiece.
Sure. Would you remember me telling you that I think that they know that they definitely want to redo 4. Remember we were talking about that, and you're like, it's already HD. I'm like, they don't give a shit. They want to get that re-released.
Yeah, no, I believe you now.
You can't jump 2 to 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to make,
Maybe
they'll make 6 playable.
Maybe that's the goal. Hey, let's just read it.
I don't even remember 6. I remember I have it.
You know what's so funny though is if the game is done in this kind of capacity, a remake or a re-release for some reason doesn't feel offensive at all. The way we kind of get irritated with maybe like a remake of movies or something like that. But what's funny is what we don't realize is how many of the original movies that we say that we love are just rip-offs of other stories that we just weren't aware of. So I think it's really neat when it's not a lazy reboot, and I think this Resident Evil stuff is really cool. Yeah, no,
they work very hard on that. They really changed it up.
Capcom, man, I remember thinking when we were first starting the podcast, there was the way that people still like, so what's up with Konami? And that's been the way for a long time, right?
Yeah.
It just felt like Capcom was... Remember when they were awesome? There was a lot of that kind of talk. And, man, Monster Hunter World, like, being their biggest game in their history, and how Street Fighter 5 really ended up turning around. And
Mega Man 11, even?
Mega Man 11 was, at least it came out. I didn't care for the demo, so I didn't buy it, but most people seem to like it.
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil. That's cool, man. It's neat to see a company... Like I just heard fans say, "Wow, I really miss when Capcom was awesome," and then here we are, a few years later, and all the fans are going, "Man, it's so awesome! Capcom's awesome."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cool to see. I really like it.
Yeah, that's sad for Konami because fucking I would things I would do for New Silent Hill.
But maybe, But there's something intrinsic in our minds with Capcom and Konami are just interlinked. They are butter and peanut butter and jelly. They are together in our mind's eye. So I'm wondering if maybe they might be looking, going, man, look how much fucking money Capcom is making. Let's actually give a real good Castlevania. Let's really give a good Silent Hill. And
what breaks my heart about Konami is that you can tell they're trying to make, how like they had HD collections of games on like the PS3. So they had the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and I came out for the Vita, and I bought that as well.
The ones they just did with Castlevania and Contra.
Oh no, not those ones. The original like Metal Gear HD collection came with 2, 3-piece and all that, and they released on the Vita. This isn't Konami, but there's God of War collection 2 and 3. They released on Vita. They never got around to releasing the Silent Hill HD collection on the Vita, and that would have been something that they would have released on there. Silent Hill 2 and 3 on the go. Oh my god, I would die for that. The only way I could play those stupid games is on my Xbox 360, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I want to. Oh, it hurts to know that it was most likely planned, and they had to scrap it when Konami decided to be assholes.
Yeah. But maybe they'll look over and go, "Hey, let's dip back into the old properties."
Fuck, I can't. I think they burned themselves too much, Konami.
Dude,
I don't think the fans will come back.
We are fickle people, both ways. Always forget. What have you done for me lately? Konami gives like a Silent Hill, a good Silent Hill, and a good Castlevania, without microtransactions, which is a tall order for them. Okay.
They fucked up with Kojima though. Remember that Kojima's like a gaming god. They screwed him.
He's a weird guy too. Maybe it's he is. When a relationship that has gone on for a long time falls apart, it is rarely one party is perfect and one party is all at fault, right? Maybe he was always late. Like, what if you had to manage him? Maybe he was a shitty person to manage. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
They did screw him, and they acted like children. Like, they were not professionals with how they handled the exit.
You mean taking his name off the game he created?
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
Yeah, and like not throwing him like didn't like the staff throw like an impromptu like secret going away party or something for him?
I don't remember.
There was some sort of a weird like lockdown like.
Yeah, it was.
I agree with you there, but dude, no one gives a shit if they released what people want. You're gonna buy Silent Hill if they give it. You're not gonna go. They fuck with Kojima, so I don't care.
Oh no, I don't care. I have no moral. Like I have no. What's the word I'm looking for?
Scruples.
No. No. Like
integrity.
I have no integrity. I'll go down in a second.
My point is that just means you're a normal gamer. All of us that play games are like that. We are just consumers, right?
So you're telling me people don't go on the Epic Store and buy games because they're boycotting it?
Oh yeah.
Or you're telling me they're not buying Left 4 Dead 2? Remember that whole fiasco today? Left 4 Dead 2. What about Left 4 Dead 1? I'm not buying this shit.
I'm telling you.
I started listening to gaming podcasts in 2009. And it's funny to go back and listen to those things. So I just heard Left 4 Dead news.
I can assure you that the fuck Konami hashtags would go real fast.
It is clever though. FUCK.
Oh, it's awesome.
Konami.
Yeah. Speaking of Jim Sterling, he's the one that started that, isn't he?
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Pretty sure. So yeah, but Nemesis 3 trailer looked cool. I'm not gonna play it. I have no interest in playing it. I'm excited for all of you fans, though. That's
I can't wait.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
My favorite rumor that I've heard is definitely too good to be true, Kevin. So we won't spend much time on this.
All right.
But the Xbox Series X could support Steam.
Like Steam's playable on Xbox Series
X?
X?
Yeah, like natively, yeah. Because of this like Windows 10 kind of bootstrap thing that's going to be built into it. So it's not like a native support thing. It's kind of like you boot into the Xbox, like the level that it supports of Windows 10, and then you install Steam there.
PlayStation has that option too. It's like signing with Steam account or something. They did that with Portal too.
Yeah, but that's not running. That's integration. This is actually running Steam. Like you have Steam on your laptop.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. So, but I remember when Steam was apparently coming to PS3. That's what they meant.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
But I think I've already mentioned to you, as long as this thing can broadcast the podcast, I'm
Yeah.
not real motivated to get a PC. And man, this Xbox, the Game Pass, man, is just
I know.
so great that I'm sorry,
I
I don't mean to rub
know.
it in, but like
No, I want it.
I'm
It
having a
makes so
hard
much
time.
fucking sense.
I'm having a hard time not telling myself like I'm not getting an Xbox. Like I can't believe it, but I feel like I'm gonna be a day one Series X guy because I'm telling myself if this thing can still edit a podcast, do I spend $1,500 on a new PC? Because I
Yeah.
can't stop. Once I start building a PC, I'm just gonna. It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Or do I spend the $500 or $600 on the Series X and kind of be done with it? Because I've always stated that what my all I need to be totally satiated with gaming is a PC and whatever Nintendo has, because Microsoft has been putting so much on PC or whatever.
Yeah. To the Windows Store or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but what if my Xbox Series X was the PC? So I'm still staying consistent with my values, but I'm getting bonus as well. There's no way this is gonna be true.
I doubt it. No way.
No way. But super
No,
fun.
it won't. Yeah, unless they mean like, you could log in, like you know how you could plug something into your Xbox to watch TV, like a cable box or something.
Yeah.
That's great. Unless they mean that, you could technically run Steam.
If they
using
could
a
let me run
HD
this,
card.
even you know what, I would gladly take a Steam Link app. That
Yeah.
would even be pretty cool. What if they? Oh man, this would screw developers. But as a consumer, a dream would be if you could authenticate purchases across platforms.
Oh, that'd be
It would be
amazing.
the dopest thing in the world if they're like, oh, there is an Xbox port of this. You did buy it on Steam, so
Yeah.
it'll authenticate your library if there is crossover. Like that would just be.
I remember thinking it was bullshit for me to buy a PS3 version or an Xbox 360 version. Because when I used to review games, publishers would give me free games to review. And I remember I asked for Spider-Man 2, the game, based on the movie, The Amazing Spider-Man, and they gave me the PS3 version. I was like, woo! I want the Xbox version for the cheapest. I felt so like entitled. I'm like, no, I don't want this
I'm
one.
such a fucking brat.
Instead of being like, thank you so much for giving me a free
Fuck
game.
that.
I was
No,
like,
they that was your compensation for the work that you were going to do.
I know, but I wanted the 360 one. But yeah, most of the games now I bought on the Switch. Stardew Valley, I have that on the PS4. Hollow Knight, I have that on the PS4. Wonder Boy, I have that on the PS4. I'm just buying the same games again, but the Switch is different because it's portable, right?
Dude,
so I'm looking at it as a different.
There is magic in that thing. I don't know what it is. I see credits more frequently on that Switch. And
Yeah,
it's not
it's
just been
weird.
this last year. It's been from when I bought it. I have a higher C credits rate on that Switch than anything on Xbox or PS4.
I play it in bed. It's bad. I go to bed so late now because I'm playing Switch in bed.
The Switch is incredible.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
just
It really
such a
is. It's a
great-
beautiful little machine.
It's fun. I really like it. So I'm very happy that you got one. So keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll be playing Steam on our Xbox Series X. Hey, speaking of Steam, I'm going to jump ahead to a note that I added as another quick little Steam thing.
Okay.
Google confirmed that they're actively working on running Steam on Chrome OS. And I listened to Video Game Outsiders today, and they're the only ones I've heard talking about this. And I guess AMD is going to be coming out with Chromebooks as well. So right now, there's some Intel ones and Atom or whatever, like mobile type of chips. But I think Nvidia is coming out with one. I think they're going to use AMD chipsets, and AMD has really good integrated graphics right now.
Okay.
So right now Chromebooks can't do 3D acceleration. So the reason that this could be possible is Chrome OS. This is a layman's term, so I apologize if I get some of this wrong. But Linux is free, right? People make Linux, and it's an open source, community based operating system. Chrome OS is built on Linux. So the general idea is get the Linux version to run in Chrome OS. There's some engineering things that make that not as easy as I just made it sound. But they're working on it. And the way that Chromebooks are right now, even if it was working, the games couldn't really run on it. Because they can't handle They don't have a chipset that can handle the 3D stuff fast enough.
Okay.
But, Intel has decent integrated graphics, and with AMD going to be in some Chromebooks as well, there's a chance for good integrated graphics in the Chromebooks that will be coming out later this year and moving forward. And so all these indie games you might be able to run on your Chromebook, and then I can tell you that if Steam runs well natively on your machine, even if the machine can't run games well, if you can do in-home streaming, it works well. So I have a PC, another PC across my house that just can't run games for shit. Like Nier Automata chokes it.
Yeah.
But it'll stream really well from this PC into my bedroom. So I do have a Steam Link equivalent in my bedroom. It'll be amazing to have it work really well, because on my Chromebook now, if I try to use the Steam Link app, it just does not work well.
Yeah.
So it would be awesome if it just worked. So
that would be great. I mean, I feel the more options to play games in whatever way I want, I'm down.
Sure. And have you ever been a Chromebook person? You ever had to use one?
Oh God, I live under a rock.
They're
I just got a laptop
last year. It's super cheap. That's the thing is, you can't I can't do the podcast with it. I can't play video games with it. They can't really edit photos, but I can use some. I can play some light tablet games. It has the Android store on it, and with Google Docs and Google Sheets, I can do, word processing and spreadsheet stuff if I need to.
Yeah.
And then it's amazing for media consumption. I love watching YouTube. I love watching Netflix, all that kind of stuff, and it's slick to have on a laptop that folds in multiple directions, so you can set it up wherever you're at.
Yeah.
So it'd be really amazing if Steam was just kind of baked in as well, and I could just pair my controller instead of being stuck to Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. It'd just be awesome because Chromebooks are super cheap, and if you can get a $500. Wouldn't it be crazy that a $500 Chromebook would just run circles around a $500 Windows-based laptop? And obviously, no, you can't buy a Mac for $500 unless you get a 2009 MacBook Pro from Craigslist.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, more options, the better. I'm down.
Fingers crossed, man.
Right?
Yeah. And the second that works, Microsoft will be like, "Oh, hey, so we have xCloud. If you can install xCloud, you can play our games anywhere. It's awesome."
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely cool stuff. And then the other story I wanted to see, did you happen to get to check out this thing I saw on Nintendo Life with this?
I did.
This secret screen Nintendo 64 prototype has resurfaced after.
I fucking love these kind of things. Right? I love it. How did this exist? And I didn't know about it.
It's so cool. It looks like
it's like a game, a Tiger game. What's this thing called?
Yeah, Tiger LCD screen almost.
Yeah.
Or even closer, like a TI-89 calculator.
Yeah. It's so funky.
And it clips on your Nintendo 64 controller.
Yeah.
To be like a portable N64 screen. Like almost.
And it's kind of like, it's funny how companies think the same. Like the Dreamcast had that little screen thing that went in the controller too. The little LCD screen.
VMU, yeah.
Where you could play like Sonic Chaos, whatever the hell on it.
Or you could call your plays like on NFL 2K or whatever.
Yeah. It's so funny that they were kind of on the same idea of this second screen.
Over 20 years ago. They knew this was the way.
Yeah.
It just was takes a long time for the tech to catch up.
You know how disgusting I feel when I'm playing, sorry, we said double screen, when I'm playing my 3DS and I'm like, I have my 3DS on me and I have my phone next to me and I'm watching TV. I'm like, I have 4 screens on me.
It's like,
I feel like a terrible person.
I was listening to some podcast, and I don't even remember the number, so take this with a grain of salt. But it was something crazy like the average American has 2 point something screens around them. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I'm constantly
crazy.
being entertained. It's disgusting.
So, but yeah, this is a retro gaming fan and preservationist, Shane Beatty, has shared a handful of images of a secret screen peripheral that had been designed for use with the Nintendo 64. Of course, we know that it was never made into full production, but as Beatty, or Batty, I apologize for mispronouncing his name, says the prototype was at least partially functional, and some suggested applications for the device had been drawn up as well. So it's not like you're going to attach this thing and start running Mario 64 or something like that.
Oh no, it's for like maps and stuff. What the Wii U would eventually become.
Yeah, and the Switch in a way, and the DS and whatnot. Like, they knew where they wanted to be. It's crazy. Dreamcast, look at all the motion stuff that was coming in. Dreamcast had all the fishing and all that kind of stuff. Everyone knew motion was there. Putting goggles on was there.
Sega Activator.
Yeah, they
was
knew.
Kinect.
The tech wasn't there, but they knew conceptually that was the ultimate goal.
Well, it's what they want, right? They want the future there.
That's
like, you think point. Gaming, you think virtual reality in the future, right? And that's what they're aiming towards.
So
the Power Glove and all that
stupid. Yeah.
I wrote an article from my website years ago about how, like, what we have now, what we had then were prototypes. Everything cool?
Yeah, I didn't change the episode number.
Oh. The Power Glove with the sensors around the TV and the motion on your hand became the Wii, with the sensor on your TV and the motion in your hand. Sega Activator became the Kinect, and they both had the same slogan: "You are the controller."
Yeah.
So I was very proud of my little article.
Hey, bonus points if you remember the Kinect project name.
Project Natal.
Yeah. Why do we know that? Why?
I don't know. It's a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Yeah. It wasn't a Vita or PSP NGP. Next gaming processor.
Oh, that.
Or was it the Wii U?
I thought the Vita was the Vita, and they just didn't change the code name.
No, I think it was NGP or
because there was Morpheus and there was Vita, and those both had
Morpheus. I remember.
Life. Yeah, there was PS3 and Vita, and like Vita means life in some language or something like that.
Yeah, like Spanish, Portuguese,
whatever. Yeah, you're not allowed to draw comparisons between those languages because you bit my head off when I tried to ask you if there were similarities. I'm like, are they different? And you're like, no, it's Portuguese. You remember doing that?
Portuguese.
I know you're Portuguese.
No, I don't remember 85% of the stuff I say on this podcast.
Well, I was trying to, how like in English you can totally see, or even like Italian and Spanish have a lot in common, right? And you see a lot of French influence in English.
Yeah, English
do you agree
and
or do you not agree?
I understand Spanish more than I understand Italian.
Yeah. Well, then you'd have to take my word for it, which isn't the point of the conversation. I find that Italian and Spanish have a lot of similarities. So it's one
like Italian for aunt or uncle, it's Zio and Zia. In Spanish, it's Tia and Tiu. In Portuguese, it's Tia and Tiu as well.
That's what I was getting at. Like, I would have to imagine that Spain and Portugal being right next to each other, the languages, despite being different, are very similar.
Yeah, I'd say more similar than Italian.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
why I was surprised when you're like, dude, it's a totally different language. I'm like, I get that.
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying. Trying to make me look bad.
Check the fucking tape. I don't remember which
episode, though. They also tried selling this thing for, was it $5,000? That's
eBay.
Fair. I'd buy that for $5,000. If I had $5,000 to buy. The amount of stupid shit I would buy if I had money. Holy fuck.
Really?
You know how many Virtual Boys I'd buy? Just a whole bunch of them. And they'd be like, knights, instead of a knights in the hallway, like big statue armor, like outfits, it'd just be Virtual Boys. And then one of the Virtual Boys' hands would like fall down when you like walk too close to it.
I'm picturing, those like really trendy stairs from the 80s that look like they were floating stairs.
Oh yeah, with the lack at the bottom.
Yeah, so just like cap every end of the stairs with a Virtual Boy headset.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Funny. $5,000. If I was Bill Gates rich, I don't know if I'd spend $5,000 on a clip-on LCD screen.
I would absolutely own a game, a part of gaming history. Hell yeah!
My favorite part about that happening is you would get this, and then you would try to put it on a controller, right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But 20-year-old plastic would probably be so brittle, like you'd.
It'll absolutely break as I try because it was never formatted to fit.
I would
never the hammer.
I would desperately want to watch video of you breaking it.
Like the first thing I would do with that N64, that Sony Nintendo prototype.
Yeah.
The first thing I would do is try playing it.
Of course.
And there's nothing. Yeah, I'd plug it in and just explodes.
But in a way, isn't that all you do with your mod systems? Like, you would have the same level of enjoyment, right? Like, yep, it works.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It booted. Okay, on the shelf you go.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Well, we'll get to it when I get to the games we've been playing.
Okay.
Just the modding world, yeah.
Cool stuff. So another, two other quick blurbs in the video game thing. VVVVVV, awesome indie game. I have a very strong fondness for this video game. It came out kind of around when the podcast had started.
That's a great game.
Indie game. This is an awesome game. The soundtrack. There's like a game called something for anything, a Bubba for anything. There's just a couple of songs on the soundtrack that I feel it in my chest. Like, it gives me an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
Something about the soundtrack I really, really like. So anyways, Terry Cavanaugh is releasing the source code.
That's pretty rad.
I just think that's rad. We'll see what people do with it. So, I don't know. Are we going to see Beavis and Butthead versions of VVVV?
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about it. I was thinking people making multiplayer worlds with it. Like a weird online universe of VVVV.
That sounds amazing. Yes, let's do. That's even better than Beavis and Butthead.
No, yours is better. We're both stoked at each other's ideas.
Okay, we'll trade. You can have Beavis and Butthead. I'll have.
How about this? An online multiplayer game?
Multiplayer.
Yes.
Oh, dude, shut it down. We won the internet today.
Just combined both. You have Daria and Beavis and Butthead and
Tom
Anderson.
God, bring in Hank Hill a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Beavis and Butthead version where you're like
Tom Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, I love that kind of stuff. Like, every now and again, for the greater good, feel good stuff is nice to see.
Yeah.
So, and then the last thing that jumped out to me this week was the Super Mario Brothers.
What about the torrent guy?
I'm sorry? Oh my God, I forgot all about that. Yeah, this is amazing. So what happened here? Okay, well, there was a developer that the game is called Danger Gazers, right?
Yeah.
And the game was out on Steam, and it wasn't really doing much.
It was just bleh.
Yeah, and it's kind of a top-down shooter game. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill or whatever. So the developer released a torrent of the game. And
nothing suspicious, nothing weird, just full
and put a thing in there where he said, hey, this is, I swear, the real torrent. It's a real full game. If you like it, would you please consider buying it on Steam? And says that his sales went up 400%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not really.
Well, I mean, crazy the fact that worked. But it's
I would say
not crazy because gamers are sometimes respectful.
Unbelievably respectful. We are think with our hearts consumers, and I'm not surprised. You see this with music, the music industry a lot. The thing is, it feels counterintuitive, and it doesn't feel like it makes sense, but it works on a real regular basis.
Yeah. Didn't Radiohead have that
I was going to say Radiohead when they launched In Rainbows. They were the first ones out of the gates that just said, "Okay, we're done with we got our 6 records out. We no longer have the obligations to the Capitol Records or whoever it was. Pay what you want," and made an unbelievable amount of money in a single day, like more than they had gotten in any other individual.
Because it's respectful, right?
And there were a lot of people that just got the album for free.
Yeah.
And I gave them $75 and bought the collector's edition.
Yeah.
And there is a try before you buy, and there's something about being honest.
Yeah.
Like if someone says, "Hey, try this," I bet you'll buy it if you give it a go. I bet you'll like it. If they're right, I will.
But that's the funny thing. It's like if you say something's free, like when I have shit that I want to give away outside of my house, like Hannah's old toys, if I put it in a box that says free, no one will take it. But if I put like $1 on the box and just leave it outside, people will take it.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of like where I'm going with this. Is like, so the game was free on torrent, but he didn't force you to get it. He just said it's there, right? Radiohead was it in Rainbows?
In Rainbows,
they
yeah.
said name your price. They didn't force you. They didn't put it anywhere. U2 gave away their free album on people's phones, and people were so pissed off about
No,
it.
they forced it though.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So when you force it like that, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you think you are, right? But if you're like, the option's there, interesting. Thank you. Let me go with that.
Isn't it wild that if you treat people nicely, you get kindness back?
Yeah.
Instead
of saying, I'll tell you what you want to listen to.
Like,
I'll tell you what you want to play.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually not surprised to hear this, and I'm happy about it because I got to give credit to Polygon. They do have a funny thing in here. It says "Pirates Rise Up."
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, I absolutely buy a tremendous amount of media.
Yeah.
But I will absolutely pirate it too.
What drives me crazy is that games, when they don't have a demo of the game, especially now, there's no excuse not to have a demo if you have a digital version of it.
Well, have you ever heard developers talk about demos?
No.
It's not nearly as... It takes a lot more to put a demo together than you might expect. It's not as simple as flipping a 30-minute timer.
No, I know that, but I mean, if I had a refund option, that'd be okay, but there isn't one. Like, I wouldn't mind... Yeah, with anyone, PlayStation, anything.
Holy shit, we got Damez in the house. We got him live. What's up, man? Good to see you, bud. I'm sorry, Kevin.
No, but if I could buy a game and try it for half an hour and be like, it's not for me, let me return it, that I would be okay with that. But I don't even have that option. So not having a demo for a game.
Well, Steam, you do have that option. Maybe.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about consoles wise.
Yeah, I think I know Nintendo is like a
yeah,
it's all PlayStation. With exception, Microsoft and Sony, if you beg the customer service enough, they might. You can get it done. I don't know.
I
think treating consumers with respect and having confidence in your product can be rewarded significantly.
Absolutely.
So, yes, okay.
A lot of people who bought it even said it's not really a great game, but I like the guys.
But I like what they did. I'm going to support this attitude, and there is a lot to be said about opting in and volunteering, and you'd be surprised how many people do volunteer to opt in to stuff.
Yeah.
There's a couple podcasts I have support on Patreon. Like, that's pretty stupid to do, but I want them to continue doing their podcast.
Yeah.
It's and I feel good giving them $1. As a tip, So, and look, the reason I guess I bring that up is mine's anecdotal, but look how wildly successful Patreon is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look at Humble Bundle.
Another good example.
Like Humble Bundle, they'll be like, here's 10 games, name your price. And I'll usually go over $5 more than the average price.
Yeah.
And then I'll buy 3 bundles for people.
Yeah.
I've done that with you and Dustin. I buy you guys whatever bundles I saw there, I'll buy for you guys. What's happening on my channel?
Dumbass says he has a $10 per month Patreon budget. Unfortunately, we didn't make the cut.
God damn it.
Well, we don't have a Patreon, but I think if we did, we still might not make the cut. However, Dumbass likes clicking on our Amazon affiliate links, so...
Thank you very much.
You do the lion's share of what's going on out there, so... Don't harm, no foul there.
We should monetize the Patreon.
Us. Dude, we already talked
about it. $10, we'll do Twitch.
I can't deliver anything more.
I know. Neither can I. No, I'm saying, what if it becomes our life, man? We get paid for this.
if other things work out well for me, then maybe someday.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
So that would be amazing.
Keeping as a hobby. Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to have like some pocket money from doing the podcast. It'd be awesome. Hey, we are 4.5 months away from hitting 10 years of Classic Elite.
Really? Shit. That makes sense.
Started in May of 2010.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So maybe after 10 years we can start having some spending money from it. I don't know. We'll see.
You got to get everyone back on for that one episode.
I'm not putting a lot of effort into a 10-year anniversary. That's going to be too fucking hard, but I really would love to.
Have like 17 windows open. Booch, Douche, Tony, Dustin,
old guests like Kaiser and Carl and Alex has been on a few times, Tiger Claw, and Jerry Terrifying have been on. I don't remember if Shintai had, but he's been on our YouTube channel and whatnot. Like he's a buddy of ours on Twitter. Like it would be awesome.
Tecmo Balls
would be cool. Like yeah, just. If people have or haven't been around, it'd be awesome. Getting Demez hanging out with us, Zarek, like man, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, dude. It's just bad timing for me.
I
know. The last thing I wanted to mention in the news, real quick, before we get to what we've been playing, is there's a new record for Super Mario Brothers on the NES. I don't understand how. Cosmic. The speedrunner is ridiculous. They're like the guys at the world record level. Their inputs are identical to the computer assisted runs, where someone goes frame by frame and hits the perfect possible input. Yeah, and these guys are running through the whole game like for 5 minutes straight, not missing anything that requires a 1/60th of a second precision.
I've been watching him play. When he hit the record I think last year, the first time.
Okay. It was fake.
Well, when I remember watching that, I was like, what a small reaction, right? When he did it. But I wasn't in the world of speedrunning yet. Like I got into it really, really hard, actually. I think you introduced me to it. And then I saw this new one and I'm like, wait, I already seen this video because it's the same setup, right? His room and everything. And I'm like, wait, no, this was posted like 2 days ago. And I'm like, he beat his own record? No way. And I watched it, and I'm like, you see the first level, 0-0. I'm like, okay, that's crazy that you hit the exact same time, and then 0 again. And I saw like -1, and I'm like, he did better that time. It could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
And every time I watch him play, I think to myself, oh, that looks so easy. I could do that. You know how hard Super Mario Brothers 1 is for me? And it's even harder because he ignores everything around, right? Like when I'm playing a game, when he's playing, I'm like, don't forget to start. Oh, don't forget to mushroom. Don't forget the coin. I'm so distracted. Like he'll jump over 14 enemies, but I'm like, the points. You're not getting the points for that extra man.
And he ended up knocking a few hundredths of a second off, and
unbelievable.
These guys will spend hundreds of hours to try to grind off 100th of a second to get that one perfect run.
Because it matters, and it's unbelievable, and how simple he makes it.
Yeah, that's what's impressive. And there's a lot of garbage in speedrunning. So there's a lot of shitty people, and there's a lot of people that care way too much about stupid world records. But there are also some unbelievably engaging and fascinating people in the speedrunning world that make it really, really cool to follow. Like Summoning Salt, and like he does unbelievable documentaries on it.
Yep. I think I've watched all of them already.
Yeah, there's a guy named Carl Jobst who I really, really love. He does a lot of, and these are guys that are doing speedrunning analysis on games that I have no interest in. Like, I don't care about GoldenEye, but man, the GoldenEye progressions are so fascinating. There's just a bunch that are out there, and having really highly crafted and thought out videos documenting all of this stuff. It's so cool. Dumbass says, I got a PC Engine Duo with all new caps in it. Ooh. If you want to buy it, it's a good deal. I don't want to buy it, but it is tempting. I'm saving up for a new guitar, Dumbass.
PC Engine.
It's a TurboGrafx 16, but it's
Gotcha.
what you guys got up in Canada, and that's what it's called in Japan.
Oh, he's in Canada too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in BC.
Oh, the shipping might be cheap. Dumbass, how much you want for that?
Yeah, I doubt.
Does it
I
work?
doubt it'll be cheap, but it'll be
Yeah.
a good price. He says, "Have you guys seen the retrospective video about the under 1 hour Mario Odyssey run? Check it out."
That just popped up on YouTube. Yeah.
Who I don't know if that was. If you let me know the YouTuber that did it, I'm pretty sure that I did. $400 shipped. It's a duo system, so it has the CD as well.
Oh,
And new caps. So
I don't know what caps are. So we'll go
the
with that.
capacitors that go
Oh,
inside the board.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So the fail points are theoretically preemptively corrected.
Yeah.
Comes with a memory card. Or if there's anybody else out there, we can get you connected. So he's got a $400 shipped, which is an amazing deal, for newly recapped PC Engine Duo. And it is PC Engine Duo. It comes with a memory card for backing up save data and an original controller. So I can't afford it. The guitar I want is about $700 or $800. So I need my tax.
I just bought a Switch.
I want my tax returns. And I'm going to try to buy a new acoustic guitar. So we'll see. And it's $400 Canadian. Let me stress Canadian. So it's like $850 for me. Ooh. I don't know. I do have $20 in my pocket. Maybe I can buy that.
Right. There you go.
That is a phenomenal price. Actually, maybe I should text Dustin, make sure his is still kicking. But I think that's going to be it for the news, man. Check out...
There was one more news I forgot to add. It was nothing
Okay.
big, but they added a new character to Smash Brothers.
We're moving on. Who gives a shit?
Cuphead.
Oh, that's right. They did add Cuphead. I thought it was the tired... People are memeing over
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem. Yeah, that's right.
No,
They are
no.
adding Cuphead. Yeah, A+.
Yeah. I like how fast you went from, oh, gives a fuck, to, oh, yeah, Cuphead.
I forgot all about Cuphead. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you saw the video that I posted when Cuphead glitched on me, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Was that amazing?
It was awesome. What a lucky break.
So now in Smash Brothers, you can play as Sans from Undertale versus Cuphead. Amazing. So good.
It's just...
You have to play Undertale, by the way.
Huh?
You have to play Undertale. I know I keep talking.
Knowing that it's short, I do need to. And
Yes.
I love music. Like, I love chip music and...
Yes, you would love the game. I'm telling you.
You know
It's
what?
2
dude?
hours.
I bet I'll be
longer.
surprised by the time I'm done with it. With like, oh my god, I have heard every one of these songs a million times over. Because
I'm debating if I want to buy it on the Switch. Sorry, go ahead.
it felt like when a month after that game came out, every single track that was posted on SoundCloud was some sort of, because mostly everybody I followed was chiptune artist.
Yeah.
So it was Undertale remix after Undertale remix. It was just crazy.
There's a fan made Undertale song called Down to the Bone, and it's between the two skeletons singing to like rapping to each other, and it sounds so stupid, but it's so well made, and the lyrics fit perfectly to the stuff that happens in the game. It's just so fun, and that's become Hannah's one of her like must go to video every night before she goes to sleep.
Oh hell yeah!
So she there's a line in the song where he goes, "You're only still alive because I made a promise," and that's a line from the game.
That's cool.
And she says it all evilly, like Sans does, like whenever he says it, and it's so well made. Like the video's well made to begin with the song, but it's just funny that she now likes Undertale music, even though this isn't from the game, but she likes the characters and stuff for the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just like
it'll probably blow her mind when she like digs in. She's like, "Oh, this is wasn't what I was expecting. This is cool."
Yeah, I can't wait for her to get old enough to appreciate it. She thinks those pixel games look blurry, which is fair, because it's pixelated, right?
Yeah.
So compared to like the 3D games that I usually play, but all the games I play are pixelated, so I don't know.
Yeah,
It's funny.
definitely cool. Yeah, Cuphead coming to Smash. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, Kevin, real quick, you do have a question of the week I want to get to, because I figure we can kind of we can move through what we've been playing pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah.
But you got a good question of the week here, man. So why don't you fire away? Let me fit this in.
What, the question of the week first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this being the end of the decade, obviously 2009 to whatever year we're in now, or 2010, I should say. What was the best game personally for you within the decade? What was the game that was made that you're like, that was in the last decade. It was for me the best game made. It was just great. It's not mean the game was perfect. It's just something you personally enjoyed.
Yeah, the one that kind of hit me the hardest, that like the game that changed the way that I played video games. This was my gateway into, like, this is what made PC games click. This is what made me really want to start diving into. When I started the podcast, it was all about going back and revisiting my old games. And Tony covered all this new stuff, and that was kind of the yin and yang of the approach. But Portal 2, actually, when I played Portal 2, like, shit clicked for me in a way where I was like, oh my God. Like, new video games can really do something that's from a totally different perspective that I never imagined. Like, I had played Gears of War. I had played hack and slashing. I'd played modern games, right? But nothing like blew my mind the way Mario 3 did. And I couldn't, like, I would dream about playing Turtles arcade game at home. Like, I was impressed. It blew my mind. And Portal 2 was like, holy shit, this is special. It was funny to me. Like, so there was a lot of, like, clever, quippy stuff that I wasn't expecting. Yeah. There was a lot of self-referential stuff with that whole cake thing. You know, the way that I could feel like I was freaking moving, the way that, like, the physics puzzles worked, it just was like, oh my gosh, this is totally made me have to reconsider the possibilities of video games. So
absolutely.
So Portal 2 is, like, when I read this question, it took me 2 seconds. I was like, oh, it's Portal 2. It's just, now what am I going to say about it? Like, how do I articulate? But it totally made me be like, I'm into modern games too. Holy shit.
And considering what Portal 2 had to work with, because Portal 1 was what, like a 2-hour little game that they threw in the orange box just for shits and giggles. And Portal 2 didn't really have anything to stand against. Like, it was just like, please be good when it first came out. And I remember it came out when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, remake. Because I named my podcast Portal Kombat at the time because they both came out at the exact same time. This is during the PS3, when the PS3 outage happened.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I remember it being called Portal Kombat. I agree with you. That actually was going to be my choice as well before I made my other choice. It was, I'm glad you said Portal. I'm very happy you said Portal because I felt bad not saying it. But yeah, everything about it was great. The characters are great. There's something I do in games, which is I do two things in games. If the game tells me to go somewhere, I go the opposite direction first.
Okay.
Usually find extra ammo, a secret, something first. Like in Dead Space, you do the thing on the floor. It points the line to go this way, go the other way. You'll find ammo for sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing I do is I keep talking to a character until they start repeating their lines. Portal 2 is very, very smart in that it doesn't repeat its lines. To the point, like, remember Wheatley?
Yeah, obviously.
He'll tell you, turn around. I don't want you to see what I'm doing. Like, you'll turn around and he'll go, okay, done. And you turn around, he did something. If you keep staring at him, he'll go, okay, still looking at me. Okay, now. Nope, not turning around. How about I turn around first and then you turn around? No, you don't want to do that either? Okay. Still looking at me.
And they did this back with, they don't have AI that's able to just throw together, pre-done responses or whatever. Like, they had those,
this is all
a
like
person
scripted.
had to record all this shit. And they had to figure out a way to get it to
on
populate.
and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And it got to the point that I was like, okay, let me turn around, right? Like, and the characters are so lovable, considering that GLaDOS is a giant robot.
Yeah.
And she's evil, but is she? Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she is.
But she's lovable.
Like a charming evil. Like,
yeah.
The Hans Gruber. Like, you like him. You're glad he falls off the building in Die Hard. Sorry, spoiler, but you like him. You like the guy. He's cool.
Yeah.
Dennis, is it Hopper? Who's the bad guy in Speed? I was getting Anthony
I want to
Hopkins.
say
And
Dennis
it was
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. I get Hopper
Yeah, it
and
was.
Hopkins mixed up sometimes.
That's fair.
It was Dennis Hopper. He was fucking amazing. He was so cool
Yeah.
in that movie. So,
But she also turns into a potato. You also have J.K. Simmons and the lemonade guy, the lemon guy. When life gives you lemon, you throw it back in their face.
Dude, I need to see Whiplash. I've not seen Whiplash.
I haven't watched it either. You learn more about Clara. Was it Clara? Who GLaDOS maybe is based off.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Do you know?
like you learn about this.
No,
Yeah, I played the game like 17 times, and the online was also good. I remember playing with my brother.
We do have to talk about games that we've been playing. So we
sorry.
established Portal 2, fucking amazing, right?
Yes.
A+. What's your pick?
Besides Portal 2, Binding of Isaac. I know that's very cliche and expected. The game came out in 2011.
That would have been my guess for you.
So the game came out in 2011 on Steam. Bought it on Steam. It was the weird Newgrounds, like 8-bit looking version of Binding of Isaac. And I remember the 16. I thought that he was going to go 8, 16-bit, 32. Like I thought that's where they were going to go, but they stayed at 16-bit. And they just keep updating it. And it's the only game where in this, like, as long as I've been playing it, that I don't mind starting from scratch. If my save file were to be corrupt tomorrow, and I easily have like 800 hours in my Vita version, if it were to be corrupt, I'd be like, well, just means I have to start again. Like I bought on the Switch and I'm playing again on the Switch from scratch.
Sure.
Unlocking everything in just because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And I fucking love this game. And I even messaged Edmund on Twitter. He had like AMA. He's like, I have 15 minutes to kill. Ask me anything. And I did I tell you already that I asked him about. Okay, yeah. So I communicated with him as well, and I'm like, yeah. He's quickly become one of my favorite developers.
Oh, he's awesome, dude. I was telling you, like, when the one interaction I had with him was fucking awesome. He was just super cool and just a dude.
Yeah.
Like,
so I bought his game, The End Is Nigh, just because I want to support him,
sure.
even though The End Is Nigh looked like Super Meat Boy, and it is pretty much Super Meat Boy. So, but yeah, I had to say Binding of Isaac for me. Like, it's the only game I keep coming back to, no matter what. I download Metal Gear Collection on my Vita, I'm playing Binding of Isaac. I download Resident Evil on my Vita, Binding of Isaac. I always go back
Kevin,
to it.
you gotta step your game up. Dumbass says
What's
800 hours. You gotta step your game up, kid. 1,500 hours on Switch version under my belt.
Motherfucker, that's only on one console, okay? I have it on PS4 as well.
Also, he says best game of the decade, Bayonetta 2 for him. I do remember. He really, really gushed about it, and he got really good. The infinite difficulty, the second lock difficulty, you beat hard to unlock it. And he said that once he got deep into the combo systems, that it was super fun.
I gotta go back to 2. I only played that once.
And then I never finished a Bayonetta, but I have the first 2. He says, I'd like to explore everywhere first 2. I hate it in games where there's 2 ways to go and you randomly pick one, and the story kicks you and forces you to skip the unexpected spot. Yeah, or unexplored spot. Yeah, that always sucks. And that is nice. So when you pointed out, other games, I think BioShock and Fable have done it as well. But when you mentioned the Dead Space, get the arrow that points to you so you know the main quest. It can help you if you are.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like me and you're like, I want those credits. That's my secret. Give me those credits. Tell me where to go. Yeah.
It usually happens like linear games where you like go make a left instead of a right, because then you eventually hit a wall, so you got to go back right.
Yeah, definitely in linear games, not something Ubisoft makes or whatever.
Yeah.
So okay, Kevin, there's a game on here I cannot wait to hear you talk about, and there's 2 that, frankly, I don't really care to hear you talk about.
All right, fair. So I'm guessing the first game.
Which do you want to talk about?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about first is Aladdin.
Which
I beat Aladdin.
Which version?
Sega Genesis.
Genesis, cool.
Since my Genesis Mini's modded.
You beat it though, didn't you? Sorry.
I did, yes.
I saw you posted on Twitter or something.
After 20 odd years of playing this game so many times, this is the first time I've beaten it on the Genesis.
Dude, you made it sound like you would rather go through the turbo tunnel in Battletoads than go through the second stage of Lion King again.
Yeah.
Once you learn the bullshit, though, the second level is really not that hard.
In Lion King?
Yeah.
No, the what part was in Lion King that was hard? The goddamn ostrich. It was like turbo tunnel. Yeah. Fuck those ostriches.
Yeah, fuck the ostriches. But once you
Yeah.
figure out the way that it's broken, and you realize like, oh, I don't pay attention to the screen. I just jump super early to do this double jump part, and it'll always work. But
Yeah.
it's broken in a shitty way though. It takes a lot of repetition.
Well,
to figure it out.
that's my next game is Lion King to beat. Now that I've beaten Aladdin, I
Oh,
gotta beat
I'm
these
an
two.
idiot, dude. I was thinking Lion King the whole fucking time. I'm
Oh.
my bad.
No, Aladdin and Lion King. So it's funny because they combine these two as classics and they're selling it for $40. I was like, you crazy? $40 for these two games? No, fucking I'm pirating them. I own Aladdin. But yeah, I beat it. For the first time ever, I beat Aladdin. I finally got to the end, saw Jafar. He turns into a little crappy snake, and then the little crappy title screen happens. I was playing this with my daughter. She was watching me play. That's when the same games look blurry.
Yeah.
But it's great. You have the genie level. You have the magic carpet. It was awesome playing on a Genesis, an actual Genesis controller. And
Hey,
yes, I use.
see you, Demez. He says off to work. Bye bye, elite heads. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Later,
Always
homie.
good to see you, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I had Lion King in my head. I was just, I guess, so excited that you beat Scar.
Oh no, I
It
haven't.
was
That's my
Jafar
next game.
instead, so
Yeah. So Aladdin, I beat the Genesis one. The other game I also beat was remember I asked you a couple weeks ago, ever have a game called Katana Zero? You said no. I said right on. So I bought it. It was on sale, and awesome game.
yeah.
You would like it. Absolutely, you would like it. It's
Look at some screenshots.
I don't even know what it's to call it. It's
I
a
love
mix
that name.
between. It is a wicked name, right?
Katana Zero is a fucking great video game name.
It's Hotline Miami mixed with, I want to say a little bit of Meat Boy because it's platforming, like wall jumping.
Oh, Mark of the Ninja, I think, has some of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they look identical in style, but Mark and
Dude,
Ninja
this
is
looks
more
cool.
stealthy.
Yeah, you're right. This does look up my alley.
So,
Puzzles and pixels and pinks and blues.
oh, it's very neon. The story is surprisingly deep.
Really?
And surprisingly well done. When you're talking to NPCs, there's like a bar at the bottom, like loading,
Okay.
and you could either interrupt them, so you see like the letters shatter off screen. So if you press A, he'll be like, "Fuck off, let me through," and then everything will just shatter. Or you can be patient, and then you have more options to talk to people.
Oh, interesting.
It's a cool mechanic I've never seen before, and the whole game is about this drug that makes you slow down time. So you're like a samurai, right? So you can like. If you go and slow down time, when a bullet gets shot at you, you can like slap it back at the enemy and kill them with their own bullet. It's Hotline Miami in terms of action. You know, you just run in a room and
Sure.
and then
Which
that's
I
what it
love
is.
That game. Not too so much, but
and when you die, it rewinds. Think of it like a VHS tape. So say that's not how it went. So he'll be like, that's not how it went. And then when you do it, execute like a great. If you clear a room, it'll press play, and you'll watch yourself smoothly kill all the enemies as if you're watching.
I know
what
that
happened.
I know that you say that you're not a sports kid, so maybe you didn't relate or whatever. But it reminds me of playing basketball when I was like by myself as a kid, just shooting hoops at home or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd be like 3, 2, 1, and break it. But he was fouled, right? So
By yourself?
you never like role played out like. Well, you're Canadian, so I'm assuming you did it with hockey.
No,
Like-
I did with Ninja Turtles. I was all 4 turtles.
Yeah, but with turtles, like you always could succeed unless you made it up in your own mind. Like I guess I was trying to recreate like a last second shot, like 5 seconds to play, balls into Lammers. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then you failed?
Huh?
And then you failed at your last shot?
Yeah. So then, yeah, because I'm in my driveway, so it's like I fucking miss a lot of shots, right?
Yeah.
So I miss it, and then I do it again because it's like, or I'll make up in my own mind, like, oh, he was fouled, so he goes to the line for 2. Can he tie it? Now they're in overtime. He hit both free throws, or I don't know. Like when you're 12, like it's just what you do, or at least it's what we did and where I grew up. So, yeah, man, you're right, man. This Katana Zero, I'm gonna have to put that on a couple of wish lists.
So, and here's another thing. I'm not gonna spoil the story by any means, but at the end of the game, I was looking through the credits, and it says special cameos, Shovel Knight, and I was like, where the hell is Shovel Knight in the game? So I googled it, and apparently he's like in an arcade machine in the background. It just says Shovel Knight on it.
hell yeah.
I was like, I didn't even notice that. There's a level in there called Quiet Hills, and then it's a set. It's a movie set,
Okay.
and when you leave it, you fight Pyramid Head, but it's a stat like a robot. Well, it's Coffin Head, but
Sure.
you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like Quiet Hills. I never even clicked in that the level is called Quiet Hills.
Oh, I got that right out of the
yeah. No, until I left.
Maybe because you read it.
Yeah, until I left and saw him, and I was like, "Was that Pyramid Head? Oh, Quiet Hills!" Didn't even click. Yeah. So recommend Katana Zero wholeheartedly. It's a fucking. I'm gonna go back and play it again because there's after you beat the game, there's a government lab you go to, and it says this store's not ready yet. So I'm guessing that's gonna be DLC.
Hell yeah! All right. What? Sorry, before you move on, what platform? Switch, I'm assuming.
Switch, yeah.
Cool. And then
I finally saw the credits to Ori and the Blind Forest, and I loved it. I love that game so much.
Thank you.
And it really reminded me of Hollow Knight in terms of the way it played.
Okay.
It's like a Metroidvania kind of game.
Yeah, it is. I'm very excited to get to next time I'm in the mood for that. Well, Wisp is coming out in March, so maybe not.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm getting to Hollow Knight someday, though. That is
Hollow Knight's
a game
fantastic.
I will absolutely play.
Made my top 3 of my PlayStation games last year, so it tells you something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but Ori, man, let's talk about like.
I found out recently this is a sequel. I was like, oh, fucking perfect! I just finished
the goddamn. A great time to get like into Ori, get through it.
So first thing I was confused about was that on the corner it said sign into your Xbox Live account. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I signed into my Xbox Live account, and my little Fez guy, who I haven't seen in 10 years, my little avatar, showed up in the corner, and I got all the achievements. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing. Why doesn't every other game do this shit?
Microsoft and Nintendo becoming buddies is so cool.
Yeah, because it's Microsoft Studios that made Ori and the Blind Forest.
Well, they published it.
Oh, they published it, but I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Studios.
Because I saw my little guy kicked in, and I'm like, what the fuck is? I had to look it up. I'm like, why is my Xbox on this game? And I found out it was the achievements that you make in the game goes to your Xbox account. So my Xbox 360 account is gonna be like Splatterhouse when I bought it last year to like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. The story was so fucking sad
good
at the end.
I know it. So it's an emotional ride.
Yeah.
But the way the music is done, the way the art, it just enhances the emotions of it. And it's so fun to succeed. The platforming is just hard enough, but it's not too hard.
That last thing was a marathon, like of obstacles.
Yeah, which is super fun.
And the elevators, like you had to make the lava stop filling up the lava, so you can. And I'm like, did I go to that door? Did I go to this door? I got stuck at a point, but then I realized that the game glitched out at some point where the rock didn't actually press the lever. So I had to. Yeah, it was weird, but I figured it out. No big deal.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. I loved the attacks. I loved how smooth the platforming was. It was such a beautiful game.
Something else I really loved about the game, even though it's a platformer, right? It's amazing. The best stories are when you understand the motivations of the villain. Where you're like, if I was in the villain's shoes, I'd do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, when you find out after what happened.
It just feels great the way that it unfolds to you and the way that you learn the motivations behind your adversary, and you're like, oh my God. It's so cool the way that they unveil it to you. And the pacing is so cool, like it's hard for a while and then you succeed with something and then they pace it out with here's what's going on in the world. Here's some more information.
Yeah. And the fact that you can make your save points anywhere, very helpful.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing, like not treating us like idiots. Like just because I died, why do I have to go all the way back there? It's like I make my save point where I want, and that's on me. Yeah. If I forget to do it a second time.
Exactly. That's it goes the other way as well, where it's like you need to know, like there's accountability.
Yeah.
If you're going to be autonomous on where you can save, there's also it's on you.
Yeah. And Hollow Knight has that problem where it's like the save points are a little bit further than where the boss fights are. So it's annoying to die. You have consequence for dying.
Sure.
But it's hard, but it's not that far. It's like 2 screens away, but it's still annoying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I gotta go down the stairs.
You're on attempt 10 or something. You're like, ah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad that you saw the credits on that game, and
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to. I didn't mean to see the too. I
right,
was just playing the game and I was like, "Oh, am I at the end? It looks like the end. Shit!
yeah,
I didn't want
right.
that to happen." Yeah.
When it came to the skills and your skill tree, we won't get into it real deep, but did you stay balanced, or did you like the first time I played it? I went real aggro, so I went real aggressive on the combat side of things, and
I went until I felt like I didn't need to.
yeah, I
Like
don't.
when I was like,
Did you see something late in the skill tree that you're like, I want that?
I
So
didn't look ahead. I just kind of chose. Like I was pretty spread out, I'd say.
I watched day 9 on. I was spread out, except the first time I played, I was heavy combat and then more spread out. But I
Okay.
watched this Twitch guy and YouTube guy named Day 9, and I was watching him play. Because Ori is one of those games I actually have went and watched other people play it because I
Yeah.
love it so much. Like I watched Zarek play all the way through it, and when Day
Yeah.
9 was playing, I'm like, oh, I love Day 9. This is gonna be awesome. I watch when he plays games that I love, and I lost my train of thought.
You like watching people play games that you like and skill tree. You went
Thank
aggro.
you. He looked ahead and he saw a triple jump. And he decided, like, on the first screen of the game, like, the
I
first
didn't know
time
that
he
was an
could
option.
see it. Yeah, if you go, there's like 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
The top one,
Oh,
the
okay.
top chain, towards the very end, there's a triple jump. He went through and looked at all the power ups and he saw a triple jump and he said, screw it all. I'm getting that above all
Yeah.
else. Which I thought was a really interesting way to play the game.
Yeah.
Um,
I like exploring games, so I know if there's a door I can't open, I must find a way door. So that's what I work towards.
That makes sense. Well, and this is a perfect game for you then, because
Yeah.
it's. What's also really nice is when you realize that you have to do some traversing, like far distance across the screen. You pull up
Yeah.
the world map, like I got a long way to go. It does not
Yeah.
take very long to. It
No, because
feels
he
big, but
moves
it
so
takes more time to
fast.
get around without fast travel.
Yeah, because he moves fast
I
or whatever,
I know,
him or
just
her.
yeah. I don't. I always picture him as a little guy. But if you told me Ori was a girl, it wouldn't take me more than a split second to get used to that either.
I thought it was a girl.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was a boy, but if you're like, oh no, it's actually a girl, I'll be like, oh. All of a sudden, it would be a girl in my head. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, it
It's
doesn't.
irrelevant. It's a cute little white animal, so who cares?
Yeah.
You know. So, awesome, man. I am. Hell yeah, that's cool. And in 2 months, the sequel's out. So.
Oh fuck! I can't wait. Day one. I think that's gonna be a day one purchase for me. I loved it.
Oh yeah, me too. Well, it's already gonna be in Game Pass,
Fuck.
but I'm totally buying it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get it on Switch. I think it's coming to Switch day one, maybe not.
I assume so.
I love the idea of it portable. So if it's not Switch day one, eventually I'll get it on Switch. I
Yeah.
want to buy Ori outside of just playing it in Games Pass. Cool. Anything else you wanted to chat about? I want to rip
No,
myself real
no,
quick.
that's it. What about you?
I also, Kevin, I made it to the credits of 3 games since we recorded last.
Yeah,
So we
attaboy.
didn't really get. We had to miss last week because sickness and all of that. And frankly, I wasn't up for it, man. I was disappointed that you were sick, but I was glad that it didn't work out. But let's see. So I finished Shovel Knight King of Cards. It's weird. The difficulty's hot and cold. Like sometimes I would be like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to finish this game. Because
Yeah.
I can't like beat this section. Like it's so hard. I know I can beat it, but how am I going to beat the next one?
Yeah.
Then I get to the next
Did
level.
you
and
find it difficult because of the controls or because of the game?
Early on it was the controls.
Yeah.
But I learned it, and then it was the game.
Yeah.
For the most part. It felt like it was on me, but so I felt like, oh my god, I'm gonna hit this threshold. I'm not gonna get to see World 3. I can barely get through the early parts of World 2.
Yeah, it's tough.
But then I would go to a level and I would one-shot it.
Yeah.
So there's a real hot and cold, up and down with the difficulty spikes. But one of the things, I think this is pretty common in games now. Modern developers have a knack for it. But they don't dilly-dally with getting you to a difficulty spike, but then they'll leave that plateau there. It's not always getting more difficult. So so instead of there being this continuous difficulty curve, it's more like it's a relatively quick ramp up and then kind of levels off for you, but implies that it's going to continue to get more and more difficult.
Yeah.
So there's times where I'm like, God, I don't know if I can. But you know what? At the end, I really liked King of Cards. I think my rating still stands. I believe I went OG Shovel Knight, then the Spectre, then King of Cards, and then Plague.
Yeah.
And I think you were the same, but didn't you flip flop?
I flipped. I like Plague Knight the
and-
most. Spectre.
Yeah. So, definitely worth playing. Absolutely awesome.
Did you do well with the card game?
No, I said fuck the card game once I realized I didn't need.
That's fair. Yeah, you don't need
I
it.
had no interest in that game.
See, again, I say the only thing that was difficult with that game was the controls, the platforming. I died more times in platforming and trying to do these stupid little moves.
Yeah, no,
Because-
I finally taught my monkey brain how it works, and
Yeah.
it got to the point where I was never surprised that it didn't jump. I got the mechanics down, but there's a subtlety to it.
There is, but that's
takes
where
a
I died
while.
the most from.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
It just stopped happening less for me.
Yeah.
It was like I knew why I screwed up. It wasn't like, damn it, I didn't do what I wanted. It was like, fuck, that was on me. I don't want to admit it, but it was. And then surprisingly, Kevin, I ripped through the campaign of Halo 2.
I never played a single Halo game.
It's on the Master Chief Collection. I've been winning the Master Chief Collection since it came out. It's on Games Pass, so I've started kind of going through it. I've played through the Halo 1 campaign a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I loved Reach. Reach is awesome. I love that game. So I never played all the way through 2, and I've never played all the way through 3, and I never finished 4. But I finished Reach, and I finished 1, and I finished 5. So
That's a good order.
Right, I'm all over it. It's like how I'm going to play Uncharted. But
You start with 4. That's how you play Uncharted.
that's how you play it. So I really like Halo 2.
That's fair.
They have this really neat mechanic where they went and they redid all the graphics for. I think they did it for the first one as well. But if you hit the select button, whatever the equivalent is on your Xbox controller, that little you on the fly can toggle between.
I remember hearing about that when it first came out.
And it's really
Using the
cool.
HD and the original graphics on Xbox or whatever.
I played the vast majority in the up-res or HD ones, but when there was ever something particularly beautiful, like there was like towards the end of the game, there's this like unbelievable scene of like a city kind of view thing. And man, was that cool to flip back and forth between just to see like
I love that.
how they.
I love that as an option.
Because there was times where it was like, oh shit, like things looked like mud back then, and then there were times where it was like, wow, that still looks. I mean, it looks old, but it looks good. Like it's clean.
Yeah.
Like you know that that's from 10 years ago or whatever, or more than that. And I forgot that people complained about the cliffhanger, and there's a major cliffhanger at the end of the campaign.
In Halo 2?
Yeah. And it took a long ass time for Halo 3 to ever come out because there was a console switchover, and I don't think it was a launch title. So there was a long period get kind of an answer. And you play as you don't play as Master Chief very much, maybe very at all. Like I played as one of the guys I was trying to kill in the like the Arbiter or something, like an enemy from the old game.
Oh, okay.
It's Halo, so I forget that quite frequently until there was like a cutscene. I was like, oh yeah, I am, or I hop in like one of the driver things. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm an alien. I'm not like Master Chief this whole time. But the game still plays like Halo, so who cares, right?
Yeah.
And after I saw the credits and all that, dude, I fired 3 right up.
Yeah, attaboy.
Started playing a little. I'm a couple of checkpoints into 3. Halo 2 is cool, man. It's
Yeah, that's the one series I'm surprised I never tried.
it is mindless kind of shoot at it stuff, but the sound's good. They feel good.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as old as I was expecting. I guess is maybe what's weird. There's no run. There's a lot of things. The button mechanics, like the reload buttons, are in different spots than modern players are used to, and you can change that. But I leave it.
It's like when you play OG Doom, you're like, what do you mean I can't look up?
Right? Yes, that's a great example. I guess I expected more of that.
Yeah.
And it was actually it did not feel as slow and clunky as I was expecting. It felt smooth and satisfying, and I liked the pacing and wanted to keep playing. It was cool.
Awesome.
And then also I saw the credits for Jedi Fallen Order.
That's surprising because you just, I don't know. I didn't think you were going to play that game that long.
Yeah.
Or that much.
So I paid damn near full price for it. So that makes me pretty motivated. You know what though, man? It's too slow of a start in my opinion. When it comes to story progression and powers and upgrades. It took well after the 50% mark for me to really start feeling like a Jedi. And there was some stuff that they didn't give me till the last third of the game that I would have really loved the whole time.
Yeah. I hate when games do that. They're like, here's that cool thing you could have used at the beginning. I'm like,
Yeah, and like, I get it because you do, if you give too much too early, one, people might not use it or appreciate the power.
Yeah.
Or it'll make it stale as you're progressing. You're artificially lopping off the satisfaction of feeling like you have leveled up, right?
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I really like the way that they handled the story a lot.
Yeah.
The ending of the game is about as fucking rad as I could have imagined, and luckily,
that's good.
For me, it wasn't spoiled. And they did something that's kind of like eye-rolly on paper, like, oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How are you going to make that work without being stupid? And they handle it in such an awesome-ass way. Like, I just want to talk about it, but I don't want to ruin it. Because this is one of those situations where my buddy that convinced me to get the game had this part spoiled for him, and he still loved the game.
Yeah.
So it's not going to ruin it, but, boy, I certainly don't want to take that away from somebody if they don't already...
Yeah, I don't care personally, but
I know you
yeah,
don't, but
still
some
recently
listening might.
Yeah.
It's still new, but that not Zachary Quinto did an awesome job as the cow guy the whole time. I
mean, you can tell me off the air what happened.
I will, yeah, off the air I'll tell you for sure. The sound design is good. Some of the stuff's a little clunky. I like that.
The jumping, platforming
The
section.
jumping and platforming is clunky, and there was a lack of enemy variety.
Well, that's Star Wars, right? Stormtrooper, Clone Wars.
Yeah, and I guess if you're gonna give me like certain stormtroopers and stuff to go against, they're stormtroopers, and I'm a Jedi. Then it shouldn't be tough at all. Like, give me a better enemy than. I know stormtroopers stink, so don't make them tough. Because it makes me not feel like a Jedi.
It's like foot soldiers and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they can't be tough.
Yeah.
They gotta be one-hit chops.
Yeah.
So, Jedi Fallen Order, I recommend it. You know what? I wish that there was... The game ended when it should have ended.
Okay, good. And then overstates welcome.
Not at all.
Good.
But missed a major opportunity. Because if it had New Game Plus the way that like Batman Arkham Asylum does,
yeah,
I'd be considering going back in, or I definitely would have went back in and went and re-explored some areas, but from a New Game Plus perspective, not from I reloaded a checkpoint before I went to the final boss.
Yeah. Like what God of War does. Yeah. Here's all the stuff you had when you beat the game. You still have it. Play it again on hard.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love
They don't have that. And I think that's a major missed opportunity for them. Because I would have opted into playing more.
Yeah.
If this just could have had another year or so of polish.
But it's EA, right?
EA published. No, Respawn made it. So,
Respawn made it. Okay.
Yeah. And hey, fingers crossed, man. Respawn. I think he's the guy from Respawn. I forget his name. I think he just got tabbed by EA to head up DICE and also basically be like they're gonna have him go fix games. Because
good.
He led Titanfall 1 and 2. Good games, and Titanfall 2 is incredible.
Yeah.
And Apex Legends, and they all cut their teeth on Call of Duty. So this guy has touched a lot of success, and a lot of projects he's led have turned out very good. So yeah, let's let this guy get more involved. So maybe it will be more like EA. This is a long way of me going. Maybe in the future it will be more like EA because this Respawn guy is really starting to get a lot of responsibilities and starting to bounce around. And
hopefully, because EA to me is like my least respected
absolutely
company, gaming company.
Yeah.
After that is Ubisoft.
Well, whenever there's big giant corporations, it's hard to be a big fan anyway. So
yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order is cool, man. I would definitely play it. It's weird to be so into Star Wars right now. Finishing The Mandalorian, finishing this, and enjoying Star Wars is cool. I need to go watch that 9th one, but I'm not that motivated to do that. So that's gonna be it for the show, I think. Oh no, we do got a couple of quick comments from Dumaz. I'm gonna rip through those.
Oh yeah, right.
Because we're we're an hour. You know what? I'll get through these real quick. We are way far into this episode. I am way past my bedtime. So
me too. I need my beauty sleep.
I'm past that opportunity. I just need to not need a pot of coffee to get through the morning. But Dumbass says, "Hey, Batman does," and I can't believe I missed this. Batman does kill others, like in the 1989 Batman movie.
Yeah, but they didn't know what they were doing yet,
and that was controversial, right?
Yeah.
That Tim Burton, like, having the Joker kill his parents, they were like, that's wrong. And Batman killing him, or, like, killing the guy, or killing Joker at the end, right?
And see, the funny thing is, well, no, Joker fell.
Okay.
Like, Batman didn't kill him. He, like, I think he punched him, or he fell through. It was a clock tower at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And the OG comic Batman murdered with guns.
Yeah.
So... Yaba Ninja Gaiden is a lot of fun. I don't understand all these bad reviews talking like it is trash. I don't know. Did we talk about Yaba Ninja Gaiden? Didn't ring a bell for me. The hunchback chick has some great boobies on The Witcher. She does have nice boobies.
Oh yeah, I still have to watch
that. But she does I really can't get. I thought she was so good in that performance. Like.
Yeah.
There's something about you could when she was in the ugly stage, her insecurities and all that were there, right?
Yeah.
And she still brought that through even when she was the gorgeous version.
You know what? After I'm done Titans, I'll check out The Witcher. It's all out.
I mean,
right?
I like it. It was a really slow go. Once I got over the hump, just kind of like the video game, I got in. Huh?
I could do 10 episodes.
It's really not.
Or whatever.
I think it's 8.
Yeah. I could do that. That's no problem.
You definitely can.
Unless I really hate it, then I won't bother. But
I'd be surprised. It can be. I think that if you're not really locked into the dialogue,
yeah,
it can get boring because you can be like, "What's going on?" So
I mean, I played 50 hours of The Witcher 3, so I'm sure I'll have an idea.
Yeah, so you'll recognize names like Skellige and all that kind of stuff. So, and then he says, "Kevin, I never played The Witcher, but I am loving The Witcher series." So he's liking the series, and he likes her boobs as well. So
right on. Nice.
And then he says Metal Gear Subsistence on PS3 is a collection. Tons of Metal Gear games on it, including
MSX,
including official MSX games and the English official. But the included Metal Gear Solid 1 is the only one that was a code. The rest were disc. So he says, don't confuse with Metal Gear Substance of whatever. Subsistence is a collection. I wonder if we misspoke or something.
Well, they had Substance for Metal Gear 2, I think, and I think Part 3 was Snake Gear Subsistence. And that's the one that had the Metal Gear thing.
Okay.
But the Metal Gear HD collection also has it. Because I just recently tried playing Metal Gear on MSX, and then I died and I had to start from the beginning. I was like, no, I don't have patience for this anymore.
You know, I really want to get to the side one, the Revengeance, sometime. Again, that
Was great.
That came out
Yeah,
around when the podcast was starting. So I just had really, like, my mind was blown at the Katana demo where it was like showing where you could like pick where to slice the
watermelon.
Like, oh my god, what a!
I have a shirt too of Metal Gear Rising.
What's going on? So yeah, it was Rising, not Revengeance or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Revengeance was the original name, I think.
Okay. So that's gonna be it for the show this week.
Right on.
So thanks everybody very much for listening up to this point. If you'd like to support the show, we have Amazon affiliate links for the United States and Canada. We have particular, like, our microphones and stuff are in there. So if you like our mics, you can purchase those, and there's links. So please, if you like the quality of our voices, maybe not the tone of our voices.
Especially mine right now.
I don't know. You were a little sparkly vampire-y tonight. A little smoky in the voice.
Super Dave, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I like Funkhouser was such a putz sometimes. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but his voice was always like this.
I know, but I don't. Let me think of something that I like related to your voice, and not something I don't like. Marty Funkhouser drove me nuts on that show. Like, just that character, he was fun to get mad. My favorite was when he when he inadvertently had marijuana in his pocket at the airport.
Oh, I've never seen Curb.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, man.
I've never seen it. I was just talking to a friend of mine at work about it today, which is weird. Because he was telling me to watch it.
It just came, the new season just launched, or it's launching next week or something.
Oh, okay.
That holds up incredibly well. And I don't like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And Curb's one of my favorite shows ever.
I think it was the theme song that turned me off when I first heard it. Oh, it drove me crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember, like, watching that. I'm like, oh, fuck this show.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I had the opposite reaction. To me, it was like a charming toe tapper. Like, yeah, let's get me in the ready to laugh at people being assholes. Okay, I'm in. Let's go.
Well, I didn't know what the show was about. The theme song just sounded boring.
You know,
anyways,
MASH did that for me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I never pushed through MASH because of that theme song.
Same thing. Yeah.
So, I get it.
That MASH? Yeah. And you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah. But you know, there's a theme song that I think you would argue sounds exactly the same that I think is amazing. The
Cheers?
Taxi theme.
Oh, okay. I don't remember how that goes.
It's arguably, like, if those weren't made by the same artist, that would blow my mind.
Yeah.
I hate one and love the other. I can't, and I couldn't tell you why. All right, show's over. We're done. So Amazon affiliate links. Don't watch MASH. Actually, it's a fine show. Thanks to Ben Landis and Cubby for letting us use their music for intro and outro music. If I remember, Kevin, I will throw in the weird, goofy Ninja Turtles Pizza Hut thing. I will find whatever we were talking about. If I remember to go back to that conversation.
Oh, the Sub-Zero song.
Sub-Zero song, that's what it was.
Yeah.
If I can find that conversation. If I remember, I'll try to find that and plug it in.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
No promises. Go to any of the podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and you'll be able to, we recommend Podcast Addict on Android, but pretty much any of the podcatchers that you can use will find us. Except Spotify. I promise I will get us on there this year. And our website also has the RSS link, so if you just want the native link, you can get that, plug it into any reader that you prefer, and that's at our website, classicleet.com, classic L337. And on all social media, we have the same handle as Classic Elite, Classic L337. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So yeah. Everybody, that's it. Thank you very much for listening to episode 309 of the Classic Elite Podcast, and we will see you next week is up in the air. I'm in Columbus all day for a conference, unfortunately, so we'll talk after the show. Right. We may or may not see you next week for episode 310.
Bye-bye.